Good day, viewers. My name is Opeyoluwa Valentine Hayodele. I'm a biology instructor. Today, we'll be looking at a topic simple, simple measurements. Simple measurements of ecological factors. Simple measurements of ecological factors. Yes, ecological factors. From the word ecology, what is ecology? Ecology is the study of living organisms, mainly plants and animals, in relation to their environment. How living things interact with their physical environment. You can also say the inter-relationships between living organisms and their environment. That's called ecology. And under ecology, we study something called the ecosystem. Ecosystem. What is the ecosystem? The ecosystem is a self-supporting unit made up of a living part, called living part called the biotic components, and the non-living part, called the abiotic component. The non-living part called the abiotic component. So dealing with ecological factors, the factors that influence the activity of living organisms in their environment with respect to their habitat. So in our next video, in our last video, we'll be talking more on ecosystem, but today we are dealing with ecological factors and how they can be managed. So the first ecological factor is rainfall. Rainfall. We are all familiar with rain. Especially in this part of the world where we are, rain falls most of the time during the rainy season. So it's measured by the rain gauge. Rain gauge. Rain gauge. Number two, you have temperature. You all know what temperature means. The measure of the hotness or coldness of a body. It's called thermometer. Measure with thermometer. We have various types of thermometer used in ecology. We have the maximum and the minimum thermometer. We have the soil thermometer. The next one is relative humidity. Relative humidity. What is humidity? Humidity deals with the amount of water vapor present in the atmosphere. Amount of water vapor present in the atmosphere. If an environment is highly humid, it means it has more water vapor. So it's measured with what is called the hygrometer. Hygrometer. Most students often confuse this hygrometer with the word hydrometer. Hydrometer is used to measure relative density in some subjects like physics. Relative density. Yes, relative density. Hydrometer, but for this one is hygrometer. Then the next one is atmospheric pressure. Atmospheric pressure. This is measured by the barometer. Barometer. Next one, we have wind. Now for wind, there are two forms of wind. You have the direction of wind. That the direction means does the wind blows towards the north, towards the east, towards the south, or towards the west. Then you have the speed of the wind, how fast or slow the wind moves. So for the wind now, we have two types. We have direction of wind. Direction of wind. This is called wind vane. And we have number two, speed of wind. Speed of wind. Anemometer. Speed of wind. anemometer. These are the common ones: 24 temperature, relative humidity, atmospheric pressure, wind. And we have something called turbidity. Turbidity. Now, turbidity deals with how the amount of suspended particles present in a water body. Amount of suspended particles. So, if a water body is highly turbid, it has that means it has excess suspended particles. For example, now you draw water from a well. The well is in the dry season, the well is initially clean, but when the well gets to the bottom of this bottom, you now bring out the water. You see some particles clouded in the water. That means the water is highly turbid. It has high suspended particles. So water bodies are highly turbid. Light cannot penetrate through them directly. So it measures the amount of how turbid the water is now. If the water is transparent, for example, now, if it's transparent like this, it's less turbid. You don't have much particles. But in the case where you have a lot of particles in the water, suspended particles, this shows water is highly turbid in this water body. So we use the Secchi disk. Another one is light. You can say light or light intensity. You use a photometer. Or we can call it light meter. Then the next one we look at slope of the land. This is one of this flow gauge. Number 9, water depth. This is one of the simple float. Number 10, water flow. This is one of the flow meter. Or you can also call it current meter. Then height of objects. This is the altimeter. So these are few examples of ecological factors measured. Now, these ecological factors are also called abiotic factors. We have two types of factors that we have. We have the biotic factors, and abiotic factors. Abiotic factors are the non-living factors. So these are the ones listed here are the abiotic factors. Biotic factors are the factors that affect the activity of living organisms. Example of biotic factors now. We have some example of biotic factors. We have some example of biotic factors now. Biotic factors. You can have commensalism. Pathogens. Parasitism. Migration. Natality. Mortality. Predation. Food. Pest. Diseases. These are examples of biotic factors, you see? Examples of biotic factors. Yes, examples of biotic factors. So we've talked about the ecology factors, the biotic factors, and the abiotic factors. Talked about the rainfall, temperature, wind, relative humidity, turbidity, light intensity, water flow, slope of land, both height of object, and the water depth. So we see in our next video. Have a great day.